The power of stretching and mobility. Now, a lot of people don't understand that flexibility and strength are very important to combine together to be able to optimize performance. Yes, if you can bench 150 kg, you are very strong. Well done. I do think that's very impressive, and it probably took you a while to build up to that, so well done. However, a lot of people that go to the gym, they only train the fundamental movements. Let's do an example. So squats. If you're going to the gym to squat, you often try push the heaviest weight as possible. Now that's fine if you're just going to do your max rep, that's absolutely fine. Understand why you're doing that. However, if you're training for more practical and performance-based reasons, increasing the amount of flexibility or mobility or range of motion in that squat and maybe decreasing the weight a little bit, it's going to be a lot more beneficial than just trying to half rep the maximum amount of weight as possible. Because squatting on a half rep, 100 kg, is nowhere near as impressive as deep squatting 100 kg. So I'm going to list off some benefits now on why it is beneficial to be able to move at a larger range of motion and be able to maintain that strength throughout that whole range of motion. So benefit number one, this is injury prevention. Now, this is a massive thing when it comes to the gym because a lot of people, they do what I said previously, where they half rep as much weight as possible. And then say if they come to normal life performance or something along these lines, they trip, they try to put their leg out, the muscles are all tight because you've been squatting large amounts of weight and you overstretch your muscle, therefore leading to a pull or some sort of injury. And this is obviously going to affect your training and it's going to keep repeating and occurring if you don't improve your flexibility. So your training will be up, down, because you just keep getting loads of injuries and that's no way to really progress in fitness. However, if you do the alternative of stretching out often and putting your muscles under strain in stretched positions, such as a deep squat, then your muscles are going to be conditioned to that flexed position. So if you did trip and overextend your leg, your body is going to be strong enough in that flexed position to be able to hold your body weight up and you will not get injured. Now, this is a massive thing that comes in with just lifting weights. Obviously, you lift weights, muscles tear, and they often heal and they're more tight and contracted. Now, if you don't stretch them out, then this can cause a lot more injuries and slower gains in the long run. The second benefit I'm going to mention is performance-based. So if you can push that heavy weight for a larger range of motion, then that is obviously going to mean that you have better performance, especially when it comes to calisthenics, because most of the body weight movement or most of the calisthenics skills require you to go for a large range of motion, be strong through that whole range of motion, and be controlled through that whole range of motion. And the way you do that, to be strong in every single part of that exercise from start to end. Now, a lot of people that are just, let's say, going to the gym and then start trying to do calisthenics, they realize this very quickly. Because if they're just bicep curling, that's just the up and down motion in a singular plane. Therefore, if they then start doing a chin up, for example, that range of motion is going to be so much more and include all of the surrounding muscle groups, and their chin ups are not going to be as controlled as, let's say, someone that had been doing chin ups for a longer period of time and then going over to a bicep curl. So performance is massively enhanced when you have strength throughout the whole range of motion. And then the last one is aging, deterioration, and fatigue. Now, if you have just been going to the gym and just doing them half reps or just focusing on the major muscle groups and getting them tight muscles with no flexibility, when you are slightly older, you're going to be able to keep a bit of that strength. So obviously you'll lose a bit of it as you age, but you'll keep some of the strength. However, you'll be all tight. So once again, if you start to trip as an older person and your body isn't conditioned to be stretching outside of them limits, which is normally what happens when you trip, you overstretch, then you're going to cause muscle tears and lots of problems with your body. And then obviously as you're older, this is going to be a lot harder to recover. Therefore, you're going to start deteriorating, being more fatigued, and it's just not a great way to live. However, if you've conditioned your body from a younger age to be flexible and strong in them strained positions, let's say, then when you are older, if you do trip and fall, then you're not going to be as in much danger as if you were the previous person, which is not flexible. So it's very important to be able to keep that body and condition that body to be strong in them flexed positions. And also to mention fatigue. Obviously, if you work muscles often, then they're going to become tighter, like I mentioned earlier. And if you don't flex them out, they're going to continue to get tighter and tighter. And this can cause fatigue in other areas of your body. One example, which most people do struggle with. We obviously use our glutes a lot to walk around every day. if you do running as well, or maybe you're quite a physical job, you use your glutes quite often. Now, a lot of people that don't do exercise or stretch out, their glutes are going to be very tight. Therefore, they're going to put strain on their lower back, and this is going to cause lower back problems, which is why probably 50%, pulled that number out of my arse, but probably about 50% of the population most likely has lower back problems. But most of the time, that's going to be weak lower back muscles or tight glutes and hips, because these muscles have been used often but don't get stretched out, so they're going to be pulling on them back muscles, causing fatigue and then pain. So once again, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of flexibility, be able to fix this problem easily. There is one negative with training flexibility and strength at the same time, which I'll make you aware of, and this is the overtraining problem. Now, obviously, stretching also tears muscles and is similar to, let's say, lifting some weights. So if you do them together and you do them too hard, then this could potentially cause to muscle tears or injuries, which once again, you do not want. So, way to remedy this and to get over that problem is to do different days and different training sessions. For example, one day you go hard on stretching, but you go light on the weights. The next day you do maybe just hard on the weights, and then the day after, maybe go hard on the weights and then light on the stretching, something along these lines. And then if you have a rest day and then come back in and you're fully rested, you can go hard on both because you're less likely to get injured. But if you go hard and hard stretching, hard weights, then you're going to cause an injury, and this is not good. So try mix up your workout routines and don't always focus on pushing yourself as hard as possible. Remember that some things might have to go lighter some days and harder on others just to be able to gain and improve and prevent injury. So this is why it is absolutely essential to be flexible and stretch out as much as possible. And you may think it's pointless, but it's going to help you build gains, help prevent injury, and overall have a better performing body. So get stretching.